We've reached December, which means we've reached year-end wrap-up, which means we've reached the bingo card discussion.
Dun dun dun.
True to form, I did not keep track of my bingo card squares as well as I should have. I
So
don't,
remember we were doing bingo cards? Because
I,
I forgot frequently.
I knew we had them going, but I didn't, like, my brain didn't correspond to the idea that as I finish stuff, I should put that said item in the bingo card.
I did at
That
least remember to
just,
do that. A lot of the stuff I did this year was not on the card. I went very off card, as I frequently do. So,
you went rogue? You went
I
rogue?
did.
You said none of these rules. Who made these rules? She did, guys. Like, she makes the rules. She picks from squares.
I know. And then I don't follow them. Which is why we're changing the format for next year, because this format ain't working.
It's not going so well for us. A year is apparently too long to leave us alone to our own devices. It just does not go well. We require more supervision.
Yeah. So we're gonna do these seasonally now.
So instead of the seasonal craft along, we're going to do seasonal bingo cards. Now, as always, they're going to be choose your own adventure. So you get to decide what goes on the bingo card and how broad of a square you want or how narrow of a square idea you want. Because it has to fit you and what you're doing and what you're crafting and where you're at. We're going to go over this year's bingo cards and see how well we did. And then we're going to talk about what we're going to start as of the winter solstice on the 21st. Because now we've got roughly 89 days between season changes, between solstices, because it's about 3 months
Wait,
ish.
this requires math. Hang on. If we have,
Ish.
how quickly do we need to finish these things? Because if we have 89 days divided by 24 things to actually finish, that means we have to finish something every 3.7 days
That's a bit
to get
extreme.
a full card.
I'm not aiming for a full card. I'm aiming for like a row or two. That's like 10, 15 finishes in 89 days.
That
That is
seems
perfectly achievable.
more doable. Imagine finish something every 3.7 days.
Like I could do it, but it would be a lot of crochet stuff.
Gosh.
Because if you think about it, here's three finishes in my hand, and I did these in 2 days. But this is absolutely
So,
crochet and not knitting.
so keep the goals small on the seasonal bingo cards is what I'm seeing.
It would be my suggestion. I also like the idea because I know I'm not going to fill a whole card in. I can pick some slightly larger things and have some slightly more mundane items. That boring stuff I don't like to do as part of my crafting hobby, but it is a quick and easy check mark, check mark in the box,
Mm-hmm.
which is always a bit of a dopamine hit. So hopefully it helps me train myself to do a thing and then go fill in my bingo card.
I'm going to stick my bingo card up on the wall this year, instead of hiding it behind the pile.
Behind the pile.
Behind the pile.
I
Do you
mean,
know how bad the pile is? You know how bad the pile is? This bag of stuff. If you're looking at this bag of stuff and you're like, "Oh, what's that fluff?" It's because I keep forgetting to talk about it 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a
oh,
row,
you
I've
forgot
forgotten to
about your
talk
San
about it.
Francisco stuff again.
I did, yeah. So the pile is bad. I'm not gonna hide the bingo card behind the pile next year. That's part of my problem.
I can't believe you actually bought yarn in San Francisco over 2 weeks ago and you forgot about to talk about it 2 weeks in a
Completely
row.
forgot. I genuinely don't even, aside from that fiber that's sticking out the top, I don't remember what I bought. Because I left it in the
Okay.
bag because I was going to talk about it.
Well,
And then I haven't talked about it.
good news is by the time everybody else sees this, they will already know what's in the bag.
Yeah, probably go see whatever last week's podcast episode is. I probably, hopefully, remembered to talk about it.
Oh my God, I forgot too. Because my brain's like, yeah, whatever. San Francisco was weeks
I
ago.
even
We've
told
talked
people to
about it.
remind me. Nobody reminded me.
I'm sorry, I fell down on my job as your PDA. Oh, My brain goes, San Francisco was so long ago because it's been over
I
2 weeks.
know.
No, we've
It's
talked about
because
it.
we
It's fine.
recorded while I was there, and then I went shopping later that day after we'd recorded. So in my brain, I've already done the San Francisco
So,
recording.
yeah. Yeah, okay, cool, cool. All I did today was break a nail. Like that's the only excitement I got going on in here. I don't have a bag of stuff to talk about. Nothing that exciting happens in my life. Uh, I I'm going to it'll be interesting because I don't print the bingo cards anymore. Mostly because at an arm's length, I can't tell that it's a piece of paper. So I'm going to have to remember on my own because it has to be digital for me.
Mm.
So we'll see how that goes. Shall we start with a wrap up? Shall we talk about how we
Yeah,
did last year?
how'd we do last year?
How did we do last year?
I'm wearing my octopus sweater, which was a test knit, and that was one of
Mm-hmm.
my squares.
Mm-hmm. I did not bring all the things for all the squares because
No, me neither.
I have a completed row and a completed diagonal, and I am like what short? Oh, I am not short many things for a couple more. I'm short a row a couple of times and a column a couple of times by like one thing. Like had I
I
put
am,
Aaron's stash into the Ravelry, my Fireweed Fabrico stash into Ravelry, I'd have a row and a column.
I am one square away from a diagonal, and that's the best I've got.
Oh no, I have a full diagonal. Most of them are whips. So I've got a because I just ended up writing whips diagonally this year. I have a corner to corner blanket I finished. That was the Halloween countdown blanket. We've got another one. Oh God, I have to lean close to read. My spiderweb poncho, that's a finish. There's the free space. Gotta love the free space. What are we calling that now? We're changing the name for that.
I don't know, we
What
were
else?
talking about like Chat's Choice or something, but
I think
also
so.
it could just be free
Free
space.
space, yeah. My Happy Harvest tote bag.
Don't worry,
And
Chat, I left you a space that you can fill in on my bingo card
it's
this year.
totally true.
We'll talk
Niece's
about that later.
coasters. So technically it's more than one whip finish. So my row of finished whips got me a full row, or diagonal row, I should say. And then I
Nice.
have one, oh, when it goes across, it's horizontal and it's a row, and up and down is a column.
Yes.
Because I know these things, right? Oh my God. Okay, so I've got for the row. Oh no, it's in tiny font. I have a blanket finish. I finished my cottagecore blanket this year.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Granny Square cottagecore blanket? I finished that fairly early in the year. I have a sweater finish. There's the Gramps sweater, which I finished. Jocelyn forgot to turn her phone onto mute. She apologizes. I will do that in a moment.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got
Thanks for the
a
reminder.
finished gift knit, the niece's boyfriend's sweater or scarf from last year. I finished that this year. The whip finish in this row is the Happy Harvest tote bag because of course it
Nice.
is. And then the other sweater finish for this row is the scrappy V sweater.
Oh, yes. You were wearing that just the other day.
I was wearing that just the other day. Oh no, someone has let the mysterious Mr. B loose. I may have told him I'm joining a new D&D campaign. He might be excitedly texting me all of the ideas he has about the character I've not made yet. I've silenced him. It's good. It's fine. I shushed
The
him.
shush.
I shushed him. It's because he's home now, so he's probably looking through domains and stuff. I absolutely have discovered that I have too many sock finishes on this bingo card. I don't know why. I keep thinking I'm a sock knitter. I am not a sock knitter. We need to stay away from those. Need to stay away from those.
Yeah, I think we've determined that you're not a
I'm not a sock person.
not a
I wear them.
not a big sock person. It's not like you're not a sock person, but you're not like a
Just
big sock
I'm not a
person.
big sock person. The sweaters I did fine. I filled in most of my sweater finishes, so I'm gonna keep the garment quota high, I think, this year. Spinning, I didn't finish a single square in spinning, and that's abysmal. Like, have I even spun this year? It's a serious question. I don't really think I have.
I don't know. There's some stuff on here where I'm like, wait, did I really not do that this year?
Yeah, I
Oh,
know. But just like, I did not finish enough designs this year, which is not good for me because that's how I live. That's that is an income stream for me, so I need to be better at that. But I'm just, oh man, I did okay with like house FOs and uh I even have a couple of ones where it's just like things needed for home, just to list it a different way. So like whips, like I'm finishing stuff. I'm not listing the right things. I don't know why I keep put stash into Ravelry or make Ravelry rip project updates. Like I'm not doing it. I know I'm not doing it. I gotta stop. I gotta stop putting them on my card. They never happened.
I also have not been good about putting things into Ravelry,
They never
and
have.
I'm finding I actually don't particularly care.
I don't. I'm like, mm, mm, no, no. I mean, I want to
I feel
be
like I
better
could
at
showcase them
it.
a little better on the Instagram feed. Maybe that's it. Instead of put it on Ravelry, make
Put
sure it
it
goes on
on
Instagram.
Instagram. Maybe, yeah. I like the idea of having the project and the notes and stuff in there, but I hate having to go back and update something 3 or 4 times. Maybe it's a traumatic reliving of my admin days and filing paperwork for engineers
Hmm.
that absolutely
Maybe
makes
Ravelry
me
just isn't the way. Maybe like a Google Sheets or something is
something
better.
maybe. But I do have whips. Like maybe if I put it one of those ones where it's FFO, like I can't count it as a fully finished object until it has a Ravelry page, even if all I'm putting up is a finished picture that I have of it, and then I fill it all in right then and there. Because then it's
Yeah,
one
that
and
works.
done. I'd be more likely to do one and done. It's almost like Ravelry project pages are like or like book series. If it's a completed series, I will finish it. But if at any point in time I have to walk away and come back, odds are good I'll never return. And it's not even that I don't enjoy the series. It's just my brain won't go back. How'd your bingo card go? Excitement's
I
over, folks.
didn't
The show's done.
I did not get a single row column or diagonal, but I was only one square away from getting a diagonal.
Oh my
I did
God.
not do any Tunisian crochet this year. And
That's
I think this is the
twice.
second year I've had it on
That's
my card.
twice you've had it on your card.
And I still haven't done it, so
Mm-hmm.
it didn't make it onto my card for my next card. Because obviously I
Makes
don't want to do it that badly.
nope. Otherwise you'd do it, right?
Yeah. But what I did get done in that diagonal
Mm.
is a fingering weight FO, many
Yes.
things, socks, shawls, many things.
Yep.
I finish in wool,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Mr. Diana's Steinkrieger sweater, or this sweater, or I finished many things in wool.
It's almost like
Spree
you
Space,
work in wool.
obviously. Yeah, I know. Start a blanket.
You did that.
I started at
You did
least
that.
3 blankets this year.
You absolutely started blankets.
So I did well in that front.
Okay.
Other things I got done, I did a sport or DK finish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm counting my handspun curl shawl for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was roughly DK after it was plied.
Mm-hmm.
My bulky or chunky FO is this
Steinkrieger.
cocoon cardigan right behind me.
Oh, right. I forgot you finished that this year.
Luxury yarn FO. Do you remember that slub cowl that I finished in exactly a week because I was
Yeah.
completely obsessed?
Yeah, the one that you still haven't washed.
The one that I still haven't washed,
Washed?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Just
That
checking.
one.
You does that cowl deserves a nice bath so we
It
can
really
go
does.
outside and enjoy the
I
weather.
know it's gonna look so good with my green wool coat. It's like the
I
same green as your sweater.
demand it.
It's gonna look so good.
On behalf of the cowl that you are neglecting, it deserves to have a bath
I
and be taken outside.
know. I know.
How dare you neglect your knits? Never mind, mine are
Um,
in boxes. I haven't even pulled them out yet.
just don't worry about it.
That's the point of the conversation.
I have an acrylic FO. Those are the leg warmers from our weekend leg warmer
Oh
challenge.
yeah, I liked that challenge. That was fun. I'm looking forward to some more challenges. I feel
I
we
did
need
not
to have
get
like a
anything done in my
teapot.
middle row.
I think we need to do a teapot cozy off.
Okay.
I think we need to do a teapot cozy off.
I think that's another good weekend challenge.
I think that's another good weekend challenge. The question is, how over the top should our teapot cozies be? Because, like, they can get intense.
Oh, I think we need to do fairy houses.
Very out. Oh my God, that's an amazing idea.
Just something so completely absurd.
Absolutely over the top. Done. We'll have to pick a weekend. Okay.
Okay, that's
Okay.
something for next
That
year.
is so totally something for next year. Quick, someone put it in the brain dump thread. I'll do that right now as you're talking. You continue. I will make a note. Oh God, sir, why did you send me
I
15
completed
texts?
a test knit slash crochet. That is the sweater I'm currently wearing was a test knit.
Oh my God, it was, yes. I love that free. I need to make an octopus sweater. I like that sweater. So
I
cute.
rehomed an old finished object.
Do you think I
I
could do
gave my
that
mom one of my
octopus
shawls.
sweater in fingering weight?
Sorry, what about the octopus sweater?
I could do that in fingering weight, couldn't I?
You'd have to mess around with the gauge, but yeah.
Well, what gauge does it call for? I've completely derailed us.
A reasonable gauge for DK weight.
So probably 20 stitches over 4 inches.
Yeah, I
So
don't remember. I did this back in like March. I truly don't remember at this point.
I will look it up.
Yeah, it's it's the octopus pullover by Goody Two Sticks. Spinning FO. I finished the spinning some yarn and I even knit it into a shawl. So it's very FO.
Yes, it is.
And that's everything I finished.
There you go.
I did not finish any worsted weight things this year or lace weight things this year, which isn't to say I started some. I just didn't finish them.
Okay.
I didn't finish anything in mohair or cotton.
Mm-mm. You don't really work
I
in
did
cotton.
No, I actually don't have any cotton, so cotton's off the list for next
Okay.
year.
That makes more sense.
I did not do any embroidery this year, let
Nope.
alone an FO.
Nope, we didn't even pick that up this year.
I wanted to make a dress, like a
Yes?
crochet dress.
Yes.
I still want to do that, just not right this second, but I think when the weather warms up again and I'm reminded what summer feels
Honest?
like,
To be
I feel
honest,
like I'll want to do that. So I think that might go on my spring bingo card.
I'm thinking summer. Summer solstice. Because the heat continues right through to fall for me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of those. It's not on the
Mm.
winter one for sure.
Okay. Let's
We were
see.
going to do that mystery vintage pattern thing.
We need to speak to the brothers and see which one, or if both of them might be willing to hatchet some documents so we don't know what we're getting. Like give them a couple of websites to pull some ideas from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we would have to explain to them what key information is versus superfluous information is. We might not need any of the descriptor bits and things, but we do need to know where to put a single crochet.
So that's a future
That's a future part.
thing that requires a lot of planning,
I
actually.
did sort of shot across the bow of the mysterious Mr. B with the concept, and he said if I was willing to sit down and show him in a vintage pattern what key information is, and he didn't see being a huge problem. If I gave him 20 to pick from, he could pick one or two. So long as I didn't read it, I was just picking based off titles, right? And I'm like, I could probably do that. I could probably do that. The
Okay.
big trick will be making sure we have the supplies to make the pattern we're given.
Yeah.
So this is gonna take some work and some thought, but I think I figured out how to sort of put it together so that it'll work.
That'll take some thinking in the background.
Don't worry, I'm on it.
Um,
The brains put it on the back burner so it can cook on low like a stew should.
I also just had a vintage knit and a vintage crochet. Did neither
Yeah.
of those. Still would
Okay.
like to, just not right now,
That's
apparently.
fine. I want to make vintage dish towels. I even have a vintage
Mm,
dish towel pattern. I just haven't found the right cotton, and I think I need to do a handcrafter cotton. Something with enough of the short cotton staples to it that it's gonna do a good drying. This is my moisture being sucked out of things motion, which is not that's not okay.
bloop, bloop, bloop.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
I do. I did not do a stash audit. somehow all year.
Did you
I
read
know. So that's very much on the
that?
list.
Okay. That was
I
huge
had
for
sell a
you.
pattern. I didn't even post a pattern.
You've got things that are
So
three
that's
quarters
great.
done.
I wanted to try tatting,
Mm-hmm.
which I tried to try, and then my
Mm-hmm.
cheap little tatting hook that I bought broke.
You need a
Um,
better tatting hook.
and then I never got a better tatting hook. So I tried to
Okay.
try,
Okay. Okay.
but I failed before I even managed to get yarn on the bobbin.
Oh, we should do a fail along for tatting and
Yeah,
weaving. That'd be good ways for us to actually get around to doing it.
I would like to try weaving.
Okay. Okay. God, I gotta add things to the brain dump all the time. Editing Jocelyn. Make notes.
Oh, and I didn't get around to try dyeing. I bought dye stuff. I have the yarn and I have the dye stuff. I just need alum
Hmm.
and to do it.
Okay,
I
so
need a
something you
mordant
can
and time.
order from Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need
I shouldn't
to
make fun of you because
make
like I'm
time. I
I'm
need to
so
plan what time is going to be and then order
I'm
the
so sorry.
alum ahead of that.
Oh gosh. Okay, cool. Oh god.
Anyway,
So good.
that's where that's at.
That's where that's at. Okay. Well, last year's bingo cards are done. Why don't we talk about the winter solstice first seasonal bingo card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go first?
Well, I mean, we should probably cover the basics. There's still bingo
Oh,
cards.
yes.
There's still whatever you choose to put on there. Diana is frantically working on having a free PDF download for everybody. So if you hop
That
over,
is actually in fact done. I
ooh,
even made it printer friendly because my original version was going to use a whole lot of purple ink.
oh my.
So there's a much more black, white, and gray version.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Maybe a
So
little bit of light blue.
we'll post that for free. So if you go over to Patreon, you can find the file download there. So we'll put it up there the same time this video goes out to Patreon members, which is in advance of YouTube members or YouTube peeps, I guess, subscribers, viewers, channel. What I wish we had like a cutesy name for our community. We do not have a cutesy name for our
Yeah,
community.
yeah, 8 years and we've never come up with a cutesy name.
Are you kidding me? Every time we have to name a segment, what's the first thing we go do? We ask someone else. We are not good at
Naming stuff
naming
is
things.
hard.
We are the worst at naming things. I think all of our best title segments have come from the mysterious Mr. B or Mr. Diana. I don't think we're
Largely, yeah.
largely, yeah. Cool. Okay. Keeping in theme with the seasonal aspect of it, and the fact that we're literally changing bingo cards every season, I opted for very small goals.
I opted for many less finishes.
Oh no, no, I kept the finish quota high because I absolutely can do it. I just sort of broke it into two stages. So off the needles and fully finished. Because in my mind, those are two separate things.
The knitting done and the everything else done are two different steps.
Two different steps. So I counted them as two different sets of projects. Now I know, everyone's very excited for this next part. You and I have both left a square free on our bingo card for commenters on YouTube to give us a suggestion as to what to fit in that square. So if you have an idea on something you think that Diana and I should be working on between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, drop it in the comments below. Drop it in the comments below, and then what we'll do is we'll let that run for a week because like sometimes you don't catch the video like the day it goes out, right? So
No, of
we'll
course
run it
not.
for a week, but like towards the end of December, we'll announce what square has been voluntarily chosen for us. Already here, also now.
What does the internet want us to do?
Yeah, should be fun. I like the idea of leaving one random for viewer choice. It's good. I like it. Okay, we have 24 squares of joy to pick from.
Joy and inspiration.
Joy and inspiration. Now, do you want me to go first? You can go first. Tell me
Sure.
what's on your bingo card this quarter, because that works out to once a quarter, right? Yes,
Yep.
yes, it does. The math's solid, peeps.
So I left my first two rows largely the same.
Mm-hmm.
So the first row is all finishes in different weights of yarn.
Okay.
The second row is all about using different types of yarn, except it's just use, not finish. I just have to work on a project with that type.
Okay.
It does not have to be a finish. And I've replaced cotton with handspun because I have some of that now, and I don't really have much cotton.
Yeah, you're not a big cotton person. That's fair.
Not a big cotton person.
That's fair. My cat snorted, so she agrees with me.
So those are largely the same. Finish stuff in different
Uh,
weights, finish stuff or use different types of fiber.
mm-hmm.
Then the middle row is where it gets real interesting because I would like to do more pattern designing.
Okay.
Haven't I said this before?
Yes, you have.
So finish a pattern design. There's at
Okay.
least two on the go right now.
Uh-huh. I'm like, there's a sweater I've been waiting for you to finish your sample for a few months now.
Just
Okay. Just checking. Now's not the time. All right, cool.
this is not the time.
This is not the time. I understand. I have been delayed. Okay.
5 pattern downloads,
Okay.
1 pattern sale, and
Okay.
3 pattern sales.
Okay.
Thinking perhaps I might. The thing that is closest to being done and released is that potion bottle amigurumi that I started like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that might be like a free pattern, and then it would be pattern downloads.
That would be pattern downloads, and I can tell you right now, I want a copy. So, there you go. You got a square. Yeah, I need a finished pattern, babe.
Well, that's only 1 pattern download. I still need 4 more.
I'm sure it'll happen. But I'll be number one. Mostly because I want to make
And
those
then
potion bottles.
in the bottom rows, I've got organized stash because
Mhm.
that hasn't happened apparently somehow.
I can't believe it's still on your card. You've got to get that done.
I know. I really did not realize it had been so long, but that explains why it's such an absolute disaster back there.
Okay. Well,
It
good,
makes so
fair.
much more sense now.
Fair.
As part of that, I want to rehome 1 skein, 3 skeins, and 5 skeins, and 1 finished object.
I vote to help take some yarn off your hands. Pick
Perfect.
me. Pick me. You know my colors.
They are largely the same as my colors. It's very
Pretty much,
convenient.
yeah. It's very convenient. But yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, just wait.
I
I'm working on a stash update video. You will be so proud of me. So proud of me.
I want to do another test knit or crochet.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a sweater this time.
No,
Delightful as it was,
I, I
something smaller.
I enjoyed watching your stress levels go up and up and up,
I, of course, would like another spinning finish.
which is
I
fair.
have Rip a Whip. I have
Rip,
many to choose from.
rip a whip. Oh God. Oh,
And I want to organize my notions, which I am leaving separately from the stash because those are two different
separate things. Those
tasks.
are very
Those are
different
two
tasks.
different behemoth tasks.
Very different
And your
tasks.
cat tree is causing me stress.
Yeah, well, it causes me stress too.
It's wobbling significantly.
Yes, it is. It is a problem. I need to try to tighten the screws up tonight before I go to bed if I can. I need some. I need better eyeballs to look at it. So it has to make it till before Christmas when Dad comes down. And then I'm gonna ask Dad for help because it's either I think it's that the screws are a little stripped and a washer will fix it, or the tree is done because the inside screw part is like the thread on the inside. Anyway, I'll get too technical about this really, really quick. It is either fixable or not fixable, and I'm not sure what stage it's at. Now, again, she's had that tree since she was a kitten, so the tree is 8 years old.
That's holding up quite well then.
The tree might just be done. I just don't know yet. So yeah, it's causing me some issue, some
Well, if you
moments
hear a
of
big crash and
panic.
a meow one day, you know what happened.
I know what happened. So I'm hoping I can tighten them up enough that we can make it till Christmas and figure it out. Because if it's a case where the tree is gone, then I'll get rid of that tree, and then when my tax return comes in next year, I will buy her a new tree. She's only 8. Like I could have her till she's 15 or 20. Like you just never know, right? So like it's not a bad investment still. So We'll figure that out. But yes, until then, it's causing all of us some heart palpitation issues. It's fine. You're not alone. I'll be watching it when I'm editing it, and I'll be like, oh God, the tree.
Anyway, so here's the card less one square. There's one little square
Hmm.
in the bottom for commenters on YouTube to fill in for me.
Hmm.
And I made this nice PDF on Canva, and am I using it? No, because I don't have a functional printer.
God. I changed a bunch about my card. I am going to insist that those top two rows change if you haven't accomplished anything or enough on them in the spring.
Well, I do accomplish some stuff. It just, it's in just it depends what the stuff is.
I like the fact that we're not trying the wheel again because you
Yeah,
enjoy the concept more than the execution.
yeah.
All right, row by row, from the top to the bottom. I have mend an item. I know we're aiming big here. Guys, the idea, I want to see how many squares I can fill in. So we're going macro, like we're going tiny. Is macro tiny? No, macro's big, micro's tiny. Could have those terms wrong.
Yes.
It's after 9:20 in the evening, Jocelyn time. My brain shut down like 3 hours ago. Finish all of January's square challenge. Because remember, the 1st of January, I am starting the 365 days of Granny Square challenge with Louise again. And I've modified it because I'm obviously not learning to crochet this time around, so that I work on crocheting granny squares for 20 minutes a day. Um, I may take a look at that and I might adjust that goal, but I need to complete all of my January goal to cross that square off. So like it's the big square.
Mm.
I've got a sewing finish because I've got several sewing projects that are like two-thirds done, like 3 skirts that need hems. Just finish it, right? Like, come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Weave in ends on a project, and make it an FFO. I might just do an FFO. I think I'm just going to change that so it says make an FFO. So a fully finished object. So ends woven in, so off the needles, ends woven in, washed and blocked in the Ravelry project page. Because
Good luck with that.
I
That's
definitely
a
have
whole other
projects.
project.
It is a whole other project. That's why I'm putting it as a square. We've got
Pretty sure I didn't
do
even
what I
weave in all the
wrote.
ends on this sweater.
I don't even. Why can't I read? We moved the fail along to January at the start of the year. So I wrote January fail along. Participating in the fail along for Patreon members at a set tier gets me that square. We're doing the fail along. I wrote it on the
Perfect.
card. I'm
It
done
has
putting
to
that off.
happen.
It has to happen. We got a lot of repeats because I like repeats. That gives me the opportunity to finish off some things. So we got sewing, have an FFO. Then we've got finish all of February's Granny Square challenge. Big again, but I got the whole month. Then we've got, what did I write here? Oh, here's the viewer choice. So there's my blank square. A design release because I've got 4 or 5 designs just about ready to go. So I just need to finish the things and get them out there. I'm reading my screen, obviously, so I'm leaning a lot. Why can't I read my own writing? Oh, here's one I can get for sure. Start the podcast versary blanket.
Oh,
Start
perfect.
it.
Start it.
Start it. So that's going to be another easy square. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Okay. What do we got else we got on here? Ooh, we got a spinning. We got spinning. I didn't even write finish. I just wrote do some spinning. Oh, I have high
Just
faith
do
in
some,
myself. Just do spinning.
like
Free
5 minutes.
spinning. Just put some effort because I know once I start doing it again, I'll fall into the group because I do enjoy it when I pick it up. I've just fallen out of the habit, right? I have the 2 week sweater challenge because that happens in February.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm. I have another FFO, mostly because that is always a good thing to do. Then we have to scroll down to the next page because my font's truly massive. Uh, a whip it or rip it win.
As
Is that
in
something?
finish a whip it or rip it.
Just win. Just win 1 week. I've
Just
already
win
had
one
to.
week.
I've had to rip a sweater already. Just make your week goal 1 week and it counts. But
Oh, perfect.
I don't allow myself duplicates, so I'm only allowed to count one thing per square. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I have a finished sweater because, quite frankly, I have 89 days. I can finish a sweater and still do other things. It is absolutely doable. If I can knit a sweater in 2 weeks, I can finish a sweater in 89 days minus 2 weeks. So whatever 89 minus 14 is. I don't reverse math at the best of times, folks. Especially when I have things like do some spinning
75.
75 days for a sweater. Come on now. I can do a sweater in 75 days.
If you can do a sweater in 14, you can definitely do at least one more sweater in 75.
75 days. So, like, that's not unreasonable. I might not be in the mood to do it. That's a whole other can of worms. I do have, I have another square that says do some spinning. Really hardcore on myself, aren't I? I have fingerless mittens listed. Wow, my chest is done for the day. I have finish something.
Just something,
Just finish something.
literally anything.
Just literally just finish a thing. Okay, I like that. And that's not an FFO. It's just get it off the needles or get it off the hook. Just get some sort of project done. Fair. Design. Fair. Finished hat. If anybody doesn't know, I had a little thing done to my ear. It was a thing. It was like a little procedure thing. But my God, it does not, it can't, it doesn't do cold.
Cold
It
bad.
doesn't do wind. It's not doing any of that. So I need a hat. So I put finish hat because I need a hat for my ears. Well, my one ear. And then I got, yeah, sewing finishes. Nothing, they're nothing like I didn't name a technique or a specific yarn or anything like that. I sort of went for the goal of like getting some stuff done and micromanaging those tasks. Like I'm a dwarf fortress person, and making things very specific. Come on now. I got a caftan that needs a hem and some
Just a
I don't
hem.
know. Well, it needs a hem and I've got the shoulder stuff sewed, but I haven't gathered down the neckline because I hate pulling on gathering threads. It's a nuisance for me. I'm gonna do it because that's what I need to do, but it's not a step I enjoy. I
Hmm.
have 3 skirts that need hems. I've got at least a dozen or so bags that are at various stations of completion, and that's just in sewing projects. That's not counting the stuff I want to get started on. Okay. I have mending things because like I've got my niece's coat to fix and I've got like the wear and tear that happens to your summer capris and your summer garments that you need to just sit down and do the mending for, right? That we will inevitably always put off.
Always.
So I put some squares in there. They're not fancy, they're not flashy. This is my bingo card and this is stuff I should get done this winter. Here's the hope. It also means that whenever we get to the seasonal quarter bingo card, when I'm done making squares for the next blanket, I'm gonna have to put assembly of a blanket as a square. Oh boy, that's gonna be a thing.
Hmm.
Hmm. So, not a fancy bingo card, but I have high hopes for this bingo card. High hopes.
They
I
sound
think
good.
it should be good. So there you go. I didn't even go like seasonally orientated stuff.
Yeah, I thought I might get a little more seasonal, but the seasonal is just New Year, clean out the stuff.
Which is
New
probably
Year,
is
new
seasonal.
background.
Which probably
Hmm?
is seasonal.
Probably is.
We should check in monthly and then do a full wrap up when we switch over to the new seasonal card. Otherwise, you and I will
Okay.
put it somewhere and we'll forget about it.
Exactly. I'll put it behind the pile of junk behind me
Stuff. Yeah. And
and
it
yeah,
won't, nothing will happen because we're never talking
exactly.
about the San Francisco stuff. No, I mean, we have. It's fine. We did get there. It'll end up under the whips, the thing she needs to rip, and it'll be eaten by a yarn pile.
It will. It's
Uh,
so disappointing.
oh gosh. Well, hopefully you guys want to join us. This should be fun. It's
Remember, you
part of
can
what
get
we do.
your own, you can admire my graphic design skills. Graphic design is my passion. Um,
I
there's a
think
link to the
Jocelyn can't
Patreon in
work
the
in
description
Canva.
box. You can get a PDF that is prettier, much prettier than this.
I
Do you
mine's
know the
a,
graphic design is my passion
no, I did
meme?
not. That's it for the bingo card. So I'm gonna say till next time we see you guys. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to
Don't forget to
craft.
knit. Craft.
You know how many times I've cut us up and it's just me laughing because you said knit instead of craft?
I have years of programming to
Years.
unlearn.